Welcome to the Goodyear City Council meeting. We're excited to have you be a part of this important public process. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to address City Council on both non-agenda and agenda items. The agendas and speaker request cards are located in the back of the council chambers. You must fill out a speaker request card in order to address the City Council. Please drop your completed card in the tray next to the blank speaker cards. If the meeting has already begun, please hand it to the officer. You may check the "I do not wish to speak" option on the card. This allows you to still voice your opinion on an item on the record without having to speak. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, please contact a staff member if you need any assistance. Public comment on a non-agenda item will take place during the citizen comment portion of the evening. These are items that don't appear on tonight's formal agenda. The city clerk will call your name when it's time for you to speak. At that time, please approach the podium and tell us your name for the record. You'll have a maximum of 3 minutes. The timer is on the screens visible from the podium. Note that you may also choose not to speak if other speakers before you have said what you wanted to say. Shouting, cheering, and loud noises will not be tolerated, and violators may be removed for disrupting the meeting. Goodyear City Council meetings stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and online at goodyearaz.gov. Follow the city's social media pages so you don't miss out on all that's happening in Goodyear. Thank you for coming to this meeting and being an active part of your city. And remember, it's a great time to be in Goodyear.
I'd like to call the regular meeting to order for February 6, 2023. Is everybody marked present? We good? All right. City Clerk, please let us know who is present on the record. Everybody here? Good?
Everybody's here, Mayor.
All right. Please join Councilmember Loretano in the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. What do we do with the flag? What you guys do with the flag?
Flag's in the front of the building, face forward.
Where is it?
They're on the front of the building.
Front of the building? There it comes. Whoops.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Ready?
All right, go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Father, we are so grateful to be living in a democracy where we may play a part in making sure the needs and desires of our citizens are heard and met. As our leaders here work together to find solutions to difficult problems, we ask that you guide us to speak respectfully and with humility to each other. Help our leaders in all levels show love to those they interact with and be an advocate for their constituents and others. Help guide those in our legislature to understand our needs to protect our community's first responders. We pray for the health and safety of those within our community who serve our city and work for our people. We thank you for your ability to help our citizens come together as one community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. We have 2 communication items tonight. The first item is a proclamation recognizing our city manager, Julie Cairns. Can you please join me down here in front?
Down in the orchestra pit?
Let's see if I can get through this. Whereas Julie Cairns has served as the city manager of the city of Goodyear for 5 years beginning in 2018. And whereas during the tenure, Goodyear experienced a period of unprecedented growth, both in terms of residents and economic development. Whereas through her efforts, Goodyear added 13,600 new jobs, 238 new businesses, saw a capital investment of $4.6 billion, and was named the best city of business during her tenure. And whereas Julie oversaw the completion of numerous capital projects of vital importance to the city's future, including the Goodyear Recreation Campus, surface water treatment plant, 2 fire stations, and the new Civic Square at GSQ. And whereas Julie led the city with wisdom and grace during difficult times, including the COVID-19 pandemic and the passing of former Mayor Georgia Lord. And whereas Julie's commitment to focus on the city's culture has led to the city's employee workforce that is both highly performing and engaged, resulting in high quality city services and an exceedingly high quality of life for Goodyear residents. Whereas Julie's service extended beyond the city of Goodyear as she served as the president of the Arizona City County Manager Association, chair of MAG Management Committee, vice chairman of the Valley Metro Transit Management Committee, co-chair of MAG Regional 2022 Census Communication Group, honorary commander at Luke Air Force Base. You never did get that right in the plane, did you? All right. And the advisory board of Grand Canyon University Public Administration Program, and as a speaker at numerous conferences, community events, and graduate level courses. And whereas she obtained the designation of International City County Manager Association Credentials Manager, a certified public manager through Arizona State University, and the Senior Professional in Human Resources through the Society for Human Resources Management, and is esteemed graduate of the Senior Executive in State and Local Government Programs from Harvard University. Whew, when did you have time for all that? Whereas prior to her service with the city of Goodyear, Julie has served on other local governments in Arizona for additional 18 years. And where the city of Goodyear is forever grateful to Julie and her selflessness service to both our community and the region. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Joe Pizzello, Mayor of Goodyear, Arizona, do hereby recognize the outstanding contributions of Julie Cairns to the city of Goodyear, and that her leadership and dedication to the community, and witness whereof I have set on my hand and caused the seal of the city of Goodyear, Arizona, to be affirmed this day of February 2023. You know how I always used to say to you, it's easy to grin? I'm not grinning now.
I need a shorter microphone. So, gosh, the past 5 years here with the city of Goodyear has been the pinnacle of my career. To be blessed to be here in this moment in this community's history, the future city of Goodyear, be blessed with a mayor and council that have been so supportive of not only me, but the entire Goodyear team, and allowing us to accomplish so many wonderful things on behalf of our community, in spite some of the challenges like COVID that we've had to endure. I can't imagine having not done this without my incredible Goodyear team, everyone from my leadership team, executive team, all the way down to all of the amazing employees that serve us here at the city of Goodyear. You're certainly in excellent hands, and the future of Goodyear is bright.
Give her a hand. Anybody want to start off? Let's get. Go ahead, Vicki.
Well, I'm new to the group, but I'm going to miss her because I've gotten to know her, and I was looking forward to working with Julie and spending some time with her. I've met her through some of my first responders that have told me that she's the best there ever was, ever is, and they're right. And when she said to me and told me she was leaving, she said, "You're going to be mad at me." I said, "Oh my God, what did I do?" And she goes, "Nothing, but I'm leaving." And I couldn't believe it. I said, "I'm going to be sick." So I wish you all the best. I know why you're leaving, and I think it's for great reasons. But I'm going to miss you even being new. I looked forward to working with you.
Bill. Do we not have another meeting this month? No,
The 20th is a holiday. So it's not till after.
oh, you're right, it is. You know, I've worked throughout 40 years in local government with a lot of different city managers. I was a director when one was fired. I was directors when they were hired. I was a council member that let a couple go, and it has really been an honor to work alongside you, and I mean that in all of that context. We have worked through a lot of problems. Valley Metro, we've worked through great challenges here at the city, and I have grown immensely under that relationship, and am forever grateful for our paths having crossed, and I hope that I continue to see you in future professional capacity. So thank you so much.
Go ahead, Sherry.
Julie, I want to thank you for all your hard work and everything you've done. I think you've become not just our city manager, but you've become a friend and part of our Goodyear family, and it's really hard to see you go. We wish you the best, and we know, like, the reason you're going, and, you know, we can't compete with that. But we do expect you to come back and visit often, because your whole attitude, and you've really set us up for such a stellar future, because just your culture and the way you deal with people it's so wonderful, and you've set up with a great team that will miss you, but you've really laid the groundwork to build a great foundation. It's like what I always say about this building. It wasn't, oh, we can't do it. It was like, how can we do it? And that's how you tackle every problem. I think that's probably how you tackle life. How can I do it? So we wish you the best, and we love you dearly, and we will miss you dearly, and we expect to see lots of pictures. And I would expect you to get some of those little hot pads, remember, that Georgia used to have? You're gonna need a box of those, so we will miss you, so we'll see you though.
Vice Mayor.
Julie, you were hired right before I was put in, I was appointed to the seat, so I didn't get any responsibility or any of the credit for hiring you, but it's been so much fun to watch you grow, and not only have you grown, but the whole leadership team has grown as well. And just wanted to thank you for your high level of professionalism and ethics. You've always been approachable. You're a problem solver. You are so engaged with people. You've stewarded the city very well for the 5 years. You set us on a good path for our future, and we are grateful for you, for the work you've done. We're grateful for you, and we just send you off with our blessings to go forth and do great things in Missouri.
Councilmember Campbell.
Well, Julie was hired in 2018 at a time when this city was absolutely stalled and not moving forward. And it's really showed what a difference the right hire made to this city. She's been a phenomenal city manager. She meets with city council members individually once a month. She listens to us. She never says no, but she figures out how she can do what we want. She captured our vision from practically the first day. She had to invest a tremendous amount of time and energy into re-energizing our employees who were not on the same page as everyone else was because we had been so dysfunctional for so long. But Julie, you have done an incredible job. I appreciate all that you have done. You're a dynamic leader who brought innovation, passion, and energy to your position. You've been pivotal to the growth of this city, and we'll never forget you or your kindness. And you were the right person for the job during an important period of our city's history, and you will be dearly missed. And we wish you the very best in your new position in Kansas City, or not Kansas City, but wherever in Kansas you're going.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yeah, so I also really appreciate your friendship and your wisdom, and you've done so much for the city. I mean, even with our employee satisfaction survey, turning the culture around, being engaged with all of our employees and on the job with Julie, and just being out in the field with all the employees, and really changing the culture around, which has been phenomenal. And I just also appreciate your openness, willingness to try new things, and I think you've really set us up well for success. And obviously this was definitely a challenge when we first hired you here, and now we have a city hall. So that was a lot of great accomplishments, because I think I know I was part of the hiring of this when I first got elected, and now after my first term, I feel like now you're leaving us, but but I really appreciate it. I know you're very well respected in the community and also regionally, and which great representative of our city to all the rest of the cities in the area, and regionally and nationally as well. So I appreciate all that. So I really just thank you for all you've done. I wish you the very, very best as you go forward, and thank you for taking care of Goodyear. Yeah.
One last hand, come on. Last communication item is the Spring Training 2023 preview. Please introduce yourself.
Bruce Kessman, Ballpark General Manager. And it's hard to believe, but just under 3 weeks, on February 25th, we'll be starting the 2023 spring training season with our two teams, the Guardians and the Reds. They will face off at a 1:05 game time. That will also be our annual charity game. So both of our teams will be donating their proceeds to local nonprofit organizations, which will include this year the Hope Team and the New Life Center. The schedule this season will feature 9 night games, and a couple other games I'd like to highlight. Beginning on March 8th, we will have a World Baseball Classic exhibition game where the Guardians will play host to Team Mexico. On March 14th, Bob Feller will actually be inducted into the Cactus League Hall of Fame during a pregame ceremony. March 17th, our popular St. Patrick's Day game. It's actually going to be a night game, 6:05. And to the first 1,500 fans, we're going to be giving away pint glasses that evening. Following up on March 18th, we do have the American Diabetes Association Tour de Cure 56, which is a cycle ride that will be raising awareness and funds for the Diabetes Association. We'll conclude the season this year on March 26th with our fan appreciation game. Of course, we still have some great ticket promotions and offers, beginning with our military offer for all active duty, retired, Guard, and Reserve personnel. They will receive a ticket to any one of our 30 games. Veterans will also receive a discount, as well as seniors on select games. We're still offering the child price tickets for 3 seating sections for all games as well. Every Sunday, during spring training, kids will have the opportunity to run the bases post-game, and on February 1st and February 8th, seniors post-game can take a stroll around the bases as well. So lots of fun to be had for everybody. And of course, what's a ball game without concessions? This year, without reduced capacity and also without the season being pushed, we're able to bring back a lot of the ballpark favorites, including the Skyline Chili Cheese Conies, which is hugely popular. Again, a lot of our gourmet burgers, street tacos, even the taquito dog will be making its return back to the ballpark again this year. So for those that don't remember, that's the foot-long hot dog wrapped in the tortilla, deep fried, served with guacamole, pico, and sour cream. So if you're interested in one of those, you got 30 opportunities to come get one during spring training. And also, don't forget that we do have the Goodyear resident discount, which should be in the Homes Now in the In Focus magazine. But for all of our ticket promotions, to purchase tickets, log on to GoodyearBP.com. And we look forward to seeing everybody out there in a few short weeks. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thanks. Now, is there time for citizens who would like to address the city council on any non-agenda items within the jurisdiction of the city of Goodyear? Who do we got?
John Belkey? And I'm not seeing him. Thank you. Ron Jones?
Hi, Ron. Council will listen to comments. It may take any one of the following: respond to criticism, request the staff investigate and report on the matter, request the matter to be scheduled on a future agenda. It says on there 3 minutes, but see what you can do, okay?
Okay.
All
We rehearsed it for 3. Hopefully it'll go out that way. My name's Ron Jones. I'm here with a couple Special Olympics athletes to my sides, and Jacob is also somewhere in the room, along with my wife, who is not only my wife, but she's head of delegation for the West Valley for Special Olympics. Now, there are Special Olympics within schools in Goodyear. So everything in middle school and high school, there's unified opportunities, but youth programs and adult programs in Goodyear all go through Laura. And in fact, if you go to the website for adaptive sports, we've worked with Parks and Recs. We have the schedule of events of what sports are there, but it says if you're interested, go see Special Olympics or call Laura. And our phone number is there on the website. So there's, and the problem here is there's no budget for inclusive sports in the city of Goodyear. And the cities that do have the budget do it extremely well. Peoria is extremely good at it, Scottsdale, Surprise. They fund it and they go. But we do have a great volunteer network within the city of Goodyear that provide coaches, any events, everything that we need. We work with Special Olympics and it gets done. And the Parks and Recs have been assisting us through all of this, along with equipment, fields, everything else. But they don't have the staff to really take it on. So we've been meeting with Nathan Torres, and I understand inclusive sports, adaptive sports came up in the prior meeting. We would like, Nathan has put into this year's budget by community request, and that we would like inclusive sports to be a part of this community. We really want that to have something for those with intellectual and developmental disabilities to be part of our city. We're here to express support that there is in the budget an additional headcount to begin that process. And as a community representing anyone with IDD and anyone in Special Olympics in Goodyear, we strongly support that going through as part of the budget so we can start the program. And like I said, the cities that have embraced that have done very well and they've thrived. We've got a great Parks and Rec facility, and it's outstanding. In fact, if you might have seen this guy, he works there. So we really want that to grow. I do have my son, Ronnie, and Jen Stafflin. They're going to talk very briefly at the end, but these two represent 200 of the people in Goodyear. There's 289 athletes registered in Special Olympics. And those all have to be managed. And like I said, any adult or youth programs all go through my wife. We want to build the city with the community to have a very inclusive community. We're willing to help. We're willing to grow that community, but we really need the city to step up and fund it. Our goal is just to bring awareness that there isn't a budget right now for that in the city, and that we strongly support that. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Ronnie.
Hi, my name is Ryan Jones. Please support adaptive sports in our city.
Hi, I'm Jen. Please help our Special Olympics programs. Special Olympics put smiles on people's faces. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Any other?
Yes, Mayor. Dennis Hudson?
Good evening.
For the record, go ahead and state your name and address, and we'll get that clock started for you. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Dennis Hudson. I'm from the community of Mobile, Arizona.
And my address is 8309 West Kenny Road, and it's Maricopa, but it's actually in supposedly the city of Goodyear. And I'm here to talk about, I'm the fourth generation of landowner in Mobile. There was 20,000 acres allocated to colored people. My great-grandfather was one of the originals. And right now, you know, we have this granted land for the land that I still have, but other people don't have that right. And we have full water rights and everything under my ownership. But my first concern is that the signs you put up, it doesn't give any recognition of the community, of the historical aspect of how the community was developed. So that bothers me. And the other thing that we're talking about here, you came out to show plans about what you want to do there, but there's no communication there. When you ask for an address and where we live, we don't have any, and I think my cousin's going to talk about it, no voting rights or anything as far as the city of Goodyear, but yet we're under the tutelage of Goodyear's rights as far as what we can and can't do with our properties, as far as manufactured homes, storage containers, anything else. But when we asked about what is your responsibility, he said we really don't have that in place or have that right. So if you have that right to tell us what we can't do with our property, then you should have a right to come in and do some things that need to be done in the community. So Waste Management said that when you guys took over portions of Mobile, not all of it, that you told them that they didn't have any right to do anything else for the community. And that doesn't make any sense because we had Glenn Weinberger that was continually doing things for the community and individual residents. But he said Goodyear told them to back off, and they didn't have any right to do anything for us as residents. So I'm kind of confused about that. So again, I'm just here to start getting some dialogue between the city of Goodyear and the residents because people are up in arms and they're ready to scream and holler about they are. But I'm just trying to make sure we create some dialogue before we get to that point to make sure we're all on the same page. Thank you.
Thank you. Manager, you have that down? I tell you what, can you get some contact information here with, who do you want?
Yes.
With the manager?
Absolutely, I'll have Gwinnett read.
Okay, Wynette right there. We'll grab some information from you, how to get a hold of you, try to get this thing started, okay?
Okay.
Wynette, see her right there? Just stood up?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I presented the community with, I'd started Waste Management coming out and supported all the development of Mobile, and then all of a sudden things changed. So we're just trying to make sure we still get the respect and recognition. And the
Yeah,
names
see Wynette right there.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Anything else?
Yes, Mayor. Robert Hudson. I believe they're connected, Mayor.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I am Robert Hudson. My address, I don't have it memorized yet because I'm currently staying down the road outside of the area that has been annexed as Goodyear at my parents' house. How I ended up there at my parents' house, they have a little under 2 acres. I bought some property right around the corner from my cousin. And to do a little backstory on that too is that, like he said, my grandparents and his grandparents homesteaded there, which he didn't mention. They were there, his grandparents were there from the late 30s, early 40s, and my grandparents were there from the late 40s, early 50s. My father, who is currently resides down the road, was born 1950. So I'm staying there, and you say, well, why am I saying all this? I bought the property so I could maybe do a mobile home on it, and not realizing it had been annexed into Goodyear, only to be told you can't do that. So now I'm in an RV in the back of my parents' acres, which is about 3 miles from my property that I own, that's right around the corner from him. So I just rose up to talk about my current concerns about the annexation, and being told what we can and cannot do on the property that I just bought. Me and my wife just bought. And then why are we beholden to rules that are in the city here, but that is a rural area. That is, you know, and I've been going out there since 1972. I was born in 1972. I'm 50. I'll be 51 this year. My grandparents grew up out there. Like I said, both of his grandparents grew up out there. So just want to see if I can just make that known, of my concerns about not being able to do what I wanted to do on my land. So now I'm currently on my parents' land because of being told what I can't do on my land. Okay. So, and I bought, let me say this too, I bought another acre before then in Casa Grande and thought I was going to be able to move out there and develop on it. And they told the same thing. Then I came out, and I bought this acre because I thought I was going to be able to do what I needed to do and wasn't able to do that. So my cousin spoke a lot on my concerns too, so I'm just kind of echoing it a little bit. And I'm in limbo right now until that gets worked out there.
Okay, if you would please, there's Wynette back there, let her get your information.
Okay.
And see what we can do, okay?
Thank you.
Anything else? What?
I have a question. Can we get a white paper on what's going on? We don't understand any of this, and
I'm sure, yes, we can get something, okay?
I mean, yeah, we can't help if we don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, and I think it's zoning, but Wynette will get us something, so we'll get something, okay?
Did we talk?
You can only respond to,
Yeah, did we say anything with Mr. Jones's response yet? I don't know if we told the city manager to look into that as well.
yeah, that's what Wynette's doing,
Okay, with Mr. Jones here too, so, okay,
yeah.
thank you.
In fact, I think we're going to see Mr. Jones's stuff coming up as we go through the budget process, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yep. All right. So with that, will the city clerk please read, first of all, do we have any others?
No, that's it.
Okay. Will the city clerk please read consent agenda items 3 through 9 by title only?
Number 3, approval of minutes. Number 4, approve the final plat for Villas Goodyear, subject to stipulations. Number 5, approve the budget amendments and related expenditure authority. Number 6, approve the final plat for Las Ventanas, Parcel 1. Number 7, approve the final plat for Las Ventanas, Parcel 2. Number 8, recommend approval of a new Series 4 wholesaler liquor license for Blue Cloud Distribution of Arizona, Inc. Number 9, recommend approval of a new Series 12 restaurant liquor license for Gus's New York Pizza and Bar.
Thank you. Does anyone on the council wish to remove an item?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Which number?
Number 4,
Number 4, do you need a question answer or you want it removed?
I have a question.
Who's got a number?
Here for number 4. Marty Crossman. My question is, it says the final plat was approved in May of 2022, and it is expired, and they want to reapprove it. Why?
This is the Las Ventanas.
Yes.
They had to, they were hoping to plat everything at the same time. So they did bring this before council. This is the eastern half of the property that butts up against Paseo Place. And the western half has some annexation issues going on between the city and the county. So they.
What did she say?
They do want to, they have to reapply just because it has timed out.
This one.
Las Ventanas, number 4 or number 6?
Which one are you?
Oh, you are number, yeah, she is Las
I'm
Ventanas.
on the right one. I don't have my glasses on, but I'll put it on.
You're down over there, this one.
Okay. All right, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's number 6. But he's talking about it.
Yes, yeah, Las
So,
Ventanas.
what, is it only for a year? Because I'm not interested in extending these plots year after year after year after year.
Yeah, it is only for one.
For
more
one year. And this will be the second extension that they're asking? Okay, I'm good.
Are you going to need to pull number 6 off?
No,
You sure?
yeah.
All right, then. Does anyone?
He answered it for me.
You answered it for me? Okay.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion and a second? We've got a motion and a second. Open it up for any discussion. go ahead and open the voting. Seven zero, thank you. All right, next, let's see. One public hearing on the agenda. Public hearing is to consider approving a new Class A bingo license. Open the public hearing. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I am Corinne Ferguson, the Deputy City Clerk. This evening, I'm presenting a Class A bingo license application submitted by Laura Zakix, President of Pebble Creek Homeowners Association. There are 3 types of bingo licenses. A Class A bingo license can be issued to a person for which the gross receipts do not exceed $75,000 per year and are generally obtained for recreational or social purposes, with gross receipts being returned to players and prizes. Class B and C licenses are for organizations dedicated to raising funds for sponsoring charitable organizations grossing over $75,000. Bingo licenses are regulated by state statute, and the Department of Revenue is designated as the licensing authority. Statute requires review and recommendation through public hearing by the local governing body within 45 days of receipt of the application. Bingo licenses are valid for 1 year from the date of issuance. Annual renewals are available through the Department of Revenue and do not require additional local review. The city's clerk's office received the Pebble Creek Association license application January 18th, 2023. It has been reviewed by the Police Department and Development Services Department with no comments provided. Pebble Creek Association hosts bingo at 3657 Clubhouse Drive in Goodyear every 3rd, 4th, and 5th Tuesday of the month. Participation costs $12 per person for 10 rounds. All proceeds are awarded in cash prizes. Staff is recommending approval to the Arizona Department of Revenue for the Class A bingo license as submitted. Thank you for your time.
Applicant here? Yes. Would the applicant like to speak at this time? Okay. Let me close the public hearing. Will the council please enter a motion and a second to recommend approval of the Arizona Department of Revenue ADOR for a Class A bingo license for Pebble Creek Association? Do I have a first and a second? I do. Any discussion? Seeing none, open up the vote. Passes 7-0. Thank you. I would like to remind council to wait for a motion and a second for discussion. Our business item is to consider approving an extension of rezoning for the Innovation Center planned area development. Go ahead, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. Steve Careccia, Planning Manager. I do have a short presentation for you tonight on this item. And it is an extension for the approval of a zoning that was approved in 2020. It's called the Innovation Center. And it's 224 acres. It's got a little mix of light industrial, commerce park, commercial retail and entertainment, and office employment. And here is where we are talking tonight. This is I-10-303 Citrus Road, the R&D Canal. So that 224 acres is situated right here. And how it was broken up in the PAD is we had those light industrial uses about here. You had the retail entertainment focus here, and then office focus here. In 2022, we had 2 site plans approved for the light industrial portion, a couple site plans for multiple building light industrial uses. Also had a special use permit for land reclamation. That's right here, the borrow pit for the freeway. That was approved in 2021. And that had a 5-year approval attached to it. So in 2026, if that land is not reclaimed by then, that special use permit would need to come back to the council for reapproval. So with the zoning, we had a stipulation that was attached to it, stipulation number 37 that was in the adopting ordinance. And that said we had to have vertical construction within 2 years. And it defined vertical construction as a foundation for one of the buildings on the site. So that period would have ended last month, 2023. So to date, we had no vertical construction. So the applicant did feel it was in their best interest to come before the council and request an extension. And in their narrative, they did say there were several reasons for the need for the extension, from COVID-19, city review times, and other governmental coordination, including coordination with FEMA for floodplain issues and with ADOT for access to frontage roads. Also changing market conditions. With their request, they were requesting an indefinite time extension. Staff does support this request, given there are extenuating circumstances tied to the development of this parcel, including the coordination with ADOT and FEMA. So we are supportive of this request. We are recommending a 2-year extension, so that would require vertical construction by 2025. With that, Mayor, that concludes the staff presentation. Applicant is also here and available for questions.
Let's see. Is the applicant here? I think so. Do you want to speak at this time, or you want to wait? Okay, sounds good. All right, let me go, let's see. Will the council please enter a motion and a second to approve the request of the extension of the Innovation Center PAD zoning approval for a period of 2 years? Let's see, I got a first and a second. So with that, can you go open up and see who would like to speak? Wally, you're up first.
Okay, thanks. I've got a couple of questions, Steve. It says the first review comments were sent to the applicant in July of '22, and they submitted revised construction plans on January 8 of '22. Did that be, did you mean, I'm sorry, did you mean January 6 of 2023?
Mayor, council members, yes, that is correct.
23.
January 6, 2023.
Okay. So do we know why it took 6 months to get the paperwork back into us?
I think you've got somebody that can answer, or...
So as Steve pointed out, there's several extenuating agencies that require some approvals and coordination with before that submittal would come back into the city. FEMA being one of them, because there's, if I recall off the top of my head, three or four, I can't remember exactly, different portions of that property that has flood zone on it, that those maps have to get updated before the next submission comes in. So the applicant has been working with FEMA and made those submissions and so forth, and it's all in process. So it's not, given the fact of how complicated this property is with FEMA and ADOT, and there's got RID on it as well, it's not surprising that it has taken this long for them to respond.
So that being said, we probably won't see any vertical construction either in 2 years if we extend it for 2 years.
Actually, they're close to being complete with us. So they have site plan approval. They're in the construction phase, the engineering phase right now. The building plans are approved. So the civil engineering component is the last segment. And so once this is approved, then they'll be eligible to go vertical. So I would, if they choose to move forward and construct, there's no reason it should take 2 years.
Okay, and if we give them a 2-year extension, what happens if they don't build in 2 years? Is it, have to come back
Then I believe
through
it
the
would
process?
come back to council, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much.
Vice Mayor?
Well, when Christopher said this is a complex property, it's so true. It's still hard to get there. I still believe that land wants to be something, and this was a really interesting discussion when it came to council, because I think this is the only time we've ever had something with 37 stipulations. So would like to see their project go ahead, and definitely supportive of the request.
Thank you. Councilmember Hampton?
Yeah, I'm supportive of the request as well, and it's nice to hear more of the background. Reading the staff notes, I wasn't sure, but it sounds like they are able to start it within the 2 years. If we give them the 2 years extension, which I plan to approve, then it sounds like they should be able to move forward within that 2-year period, maybe? Okay. Okay, well, great, good to hear. So I appreciate it, and thank you for staff's hard work, and looking forward to this to move forward. Thank you.
Doesn't look like there's any further discussion. Can you open up the voting? Passes 7-0. Thank you. Does council have any comments, commendations, or reports on current events or requests for future items?
I have something.
Whoops. Go ahead, Sherry.
I can't figure that out.
Go ahead.
It was brought up at the retreat and also with the traffic on Bullard. Also want to draw the chief's attention if we could look into the traffic going up over that area where they're speeding. It's also with Great Hearts there. That's just a mess that people are turning right from like the middle lane, crossing over. Okay, I guess Paul's seen it. I mean, and then they just whip out there. There's pedestrians. This morning I almost saw a pedestrian get hit crossing over to the school because people are running that light to turn left or right into the school. It's kind of a free-for-all. So if we could keep an eye on Bullard, totally.
Thank you.
I
Go
have a
ahead.
question. Is this where I can ask the city manager a question?
I guess, because.
Okay, my question, yeah, thank you. Okay, at the retreat, you gave us the expectations of the organization, and then you gave us some procedures from Livingston, Texas. And is it my understanding that Lancaster, sorry, that it's going to come before us for us to decide if that's what we want to do? Because I've gone through it now, and there's all sorts in there that I'm not in favor of. So I want to know I'm going to have another shot at either taking some of this stuff out or redoing it ourselves.
Thank you for the question, and Mayor, Council. The action plan from the retreat is that staff would work to put together a draft that would come back before council in a work session for you to provide direction before it would be brought back into final form.
Okay, good, thank you.
Seeing none, okay. You good? City manager have anything?
I do, thank you, Mayor. The 8th Annual Vision and Sound, an African American Experience, was held at Goodyear Civic Square on Sunday. The ongoing event, envisioned and coordinated by Goodyear residents Norma and Michael Cunningham, was held in partnership with the Sedona Arts Center. We had over 300 attendees who enjoyed live music in the park by Don Williams and Company, live art demos and workshops offered by the exhibiting artists, lawn games, and great food from our local Black-owned food trucks. The event spanned to the Georgia T. Lord Library with a fine art show presenting 8 prolific Black artists representing various mediums and genres of art. The fine art exhibit, in person and virtually, is open through March 31st. Also this weekend, we had more than 16,000 people attend the 12th Annual Arizona Balloon Classic. Attendance was down despite beautiful weather over the weekend, which was great for flying. And all of the balloons did ascend on schedule Saturday and Sunday. We had 28 food vendors, 65 retail vendors on site during the weekend, and the superhero BMX stunt team held multiple shows throughout the weekend, entertaining the crowd with their tricks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We good? The next meeting will be a work session, February 13th at 5 p.m. We're not done. Let's see, we have an item for discussion in executive session. Vote may be held to call an executive session for the following pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A1 and 3 for consultation with the city attorney and for the discussion of consideration of employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, salaries, or resignation of a public officer, appointee, or employee of the public body related to the process or appointment of a new or interim city manager. I would like a motion to go into executive session. I've got 2 of them up there. Motion and a second. Seeing a motion and a second, can we just get a vote? 7-0, I guess we head on upstairs.